Hey, this is Stacy from Let's Cook, y'all. Welcome back to our channel. We are back for a new week of What's for Dinner. We are continuing to cook at home from our pantry, fridge, and freezer. We've got several homemade meals for you guys, as well as a couple bonus salads and a dessert. Hope you enjoy this week's video. Tonight we are cracking out something I don't use very often. It stays hidden in the back of one of my cabinets. I've got a crock pot casserole size, and I'm going to try from a website I have used recipes from before called 36 Days of Crock Pot. This is a slow cooker or crock pot garlic Parmesan spinach chicken that we're going to serve over some pasta. I'll see if I have some fettuccine. If you don't want to do it in the crock pot or slow cooker, she also has an instant pot version, and I will leave a link to this provided it comes out good. I am a little late starting this, so rather than cooking it on low for 3 to 5 hours, I may put it on high, but I have found the few times that I've used this appliance that it cooks very high on hot. It cooks very hot on high, so I'm going to start it off at low. I've got about maybe 2.5 hours, and see how it's coming along. You basically cook the chicken to begin with in some broth and butter and seasonings, and at the end we will mix some evaporated milk. That's for the crock pot version. If you do the instant pot version, I believe it uses half and half or whipping cream. We'll mix the milk with some flour to make a roux and thicken the sauce, and we'll take the chicken out and then add in some spinach, Parmesan cheese, and since I don't have fresh, some canned mushrooms. That's actually my last can. It depends on how it tastes. I may leave the mushrooms out. I will get the chicken started, and we'll see how this new recipe goes. To the crock pot, I added the melted butter, some chicken broth, some diced onions, and some jarred minced garlic. I did go ahead and cut, per the recipe, my 2 chicken breasts into 1/2-inch fillets, so I thought they would cook quicker, and the rest of the powdered seasonings. It's been on high for about 30 minutes. Still got a ways to go, so I may leave it another 30 and then cut it down. I didn't really record the time, but when my chicken looked like it was nearly cooked through, I took the evaporated milk and mixed it up with the flour to help thicken the sauce. And this is the point where I went ahead and added the canned mushrooms, and then we cooked it for, Alexa, set a timer for 30 minutes. After the sauce thickens, you take the chicken pieces out, and then I stirred up the sauce and added some chopped spinach. The recipe calls for 3 ounces. I just eyeballed it, and a 1/2 cup of Parmesan cheese, and mixed that all together to thicken and flavor the sauce. I had 1 yellow and 1 zucchini squash left, and I tried to put some thyme on it, and klutz strikes again, too much. From the smell of it, this new recipe is going to taste good. I'm going to serve it over fettuccine. Sauteed some squash on the side, made us a spinach salad. I'm going to fix my plate, and I'll show you a picture of our plates. That's what's for dinner tonight. Comfort food is still reigning supreme around here, but there are days like today that I just do not feel like cooking. Normally I would take a break and we would go out or go pick something up, but we're trying to eat at home. So like last week's tomato soup and grilled cheese, tacos are very easy for me. Tacos, spaghetti, tomato soup, grilled cheese, sandwiches, those are easy nights, so we're having those. I've got some homemade guacamole, some fixings, some turkey meat that we turned into tacos, and a big old can of refried beans. I will show you a picture of our plates. We've still got, thankfully, some tortillas from Walmart. So I'll show you a quick picture. I know everybody knows how to make tacos, not a big deal. We do, however, have a video on how we make creamy guacamole. If you're interested, I'll leave a link to that. That's what's for dinner tonight. Early in the afternoon, I mixed up a honey balsamic salad dressing for dinner tonight. So very thankful to have these still in the freezer from Sam's Club. Fresh Louisiana strawberries. This is a repeat of something we made a month or two ago with spinach, strawberries, red onion, feta, and some toasted pecans. This salad is delicious. Tonight we're having a very large strawberry spinach salad. About a month ago we had this and I fell in love with it, and I said if we were ever able to get the ingredients again, we would have it again, and I'm very much looking forward to it, even though the thief is going to try it out. We've used the last of the sirloin strips from Sam's. Since we do have tortillas and we don't have buns, we're going to have them like that. Tim's got these jalapeno and garlic stuffed olives he got. I will not be having any of those.
I know it.
So I'll show you. I'll show you a picture.
I'm not sharing.
You're not sharing? Well, there was some strawberries, Louisiana strawberries left over. I'm not sharing those with you. So there. So we'll make our plates, and I'll show you a picture of our plates. That's what's for dinner tonight. Thanks to a sweet friend who was able to find yeast, and me finding some bread flour at Walmart a few weeks ago, I thought I would give bread another try. I tried to make some buns a couple weeks ago using my bread machine and the dough setting. This time I decided to try the machine to make a full loaf of bread to go with dinner tonight. We'll see if it's my bread machine. I'm going to go ahead and try to do the whole loaf in here. It's a 1.5 pound loaf. Even though it's got a little whole wheat in it, I have in my notes that I've made this one on the white bread setting, which on my machine is basic. And so we'll know in about 3 hours and 15 minutes. And the beeping means it's done. I don't think my bread machine is broken. Yay! Gonna get it out and let it cool and then slice it. And I'm telling you, whether it's the bread machine or the oven, there's nothing better than fresh bread with butter on it. I got some of these Green Giant nibblers and got half the package out, brushed them with olive oil and put some salt and pepper on them, and thought I would give them a try in the air fryer. Since they were still frozen, I started them first at 10 minutes at 400 degrees. I flipped them at 5 minutes and got out the last of my country fried steaks from the freezer and started some water to boil in my microwave. Doesn't take long for me to make a mess. The corn was probably fine after 10 minutes at 400, but the country fried steaks weren't quite there, so I'm putting 4 more minutes on them and check them in. I got so excited when the bread came out of the oven earlier today. All I wanted to do was have a piece hot with melted butter on it, so I forgot to show y'all what it looked like. Don't think my air fryer's having a problem. I did the whole loaf in there, so it's got the little hole in the bottom where the paddle was. But it was delicious at lunch, and I'm gonna put some butter and cheese on it, and we'll have cheese toast out of it tonight. The last of the country fried steaks from that big bag from Sam's. I think you can also find them at Walmart, probably other grocery stores. I will repurchase those. Got some gravy from a mix to go over it, some instant mashed potatoes, and I tried the corn cobs in the air fryer. Couldn't be easier, quick, pantry meal, and just what the doctor ordered, nice and comforting, lots of carbs, not a vegetable in sight. That's what's for dinner tonight. Tim had plenty of meat left over for his dinner, so I decided to use some more of the spinach and make one of my favorites, which we've shown on the channel before. It's a healthy, warm farro salad. It's very easy. You mix up a little light vinaigrette, cook some farro. You can use spinach, you can use kale. I use feta because I always have it on hand, and it's delicious. Tim has some leftovers. If I get a chance, I'll show them to you, but I'm making some salads. One is for me for dinner tonight, and I'll show you the other two. They're for lunches for the next day or two. I've shown this one before. This is a warm farro salad. It's one of my favorites. It's a good way to use up some leftover spinach or kale that's past its prime and get a very tasty dish. So this is my dinner tonight, and I've got some salads to show you as well. Tim ran to Lowe's one evening to pick up some supplies for a project he's working on. I asked him to pick me up a couple of fresh herbs. This is the parsley that he picked me up. I've got some planted now, parsley and basil, and I also chopped up some red onion for one of the salads for my lunches. When all of this first started, the only tuna I was able to find was packed in olive oil. I normally prefer it packed in water, so I knew what I wanted to do with it. This is something I've made off and on for many years. It's a tuna and white bean salad. It's just a can of rinsed cannellini beans, and you use the parsley, the red onion, some olive oil, lemon juice, salt, pepper, and a little bit of chili flake. I also ended up adding a dash of Tabasco sauce to give it a little more flavor. This is a salad that's best made a day or so in advance, and it gives it time to kind of break down the beans. Next time I'll have dry beans, so I will probably cook my own cannellini beans from dried to make this salad the next time, but I love this one. I ate it for my lunches on crackers or on these wasa crisp breads that I had in my pantry. And an old favorite, we got some eggs, so I was able to boil a couple of eggs on the stovetop. I didn't feel like pulling out my Instant Pot, and made me some egg salad. This always reminds me of my mom. While I was eating my warm farro salad for my dinner, I went ahead and made some egg salad. I put the rest of the farro up so I can have another round of this for my lunch, and I will have egg salad for lunches for me for the next day or two. Hopefully Tim will try this one. This is really good. I like to do it in the summertime. It's a cold tuna and white bean salad. You can have it on lettuce or with crackers, and I will probably eat that one on good old white bread. So there's a couple of easy salad ideas that you can make for dinner or lunch. Tim is having the leftover sirloin strips as wraps with chips and fruit. He's going to be so excited about the fruit when he sees this plate. But it's better than the warm farro salad that I had. That's what Tim is having for dinner tonight. Someone's got dessert today. Whee! And someone's very excited about it. And coffee to go with it. This is a dessert that we've been making for many years. I've already shown this on the channel. I'll leave a link to the recipe. It's my easy way of making chocolate chip cookies without having to drop them out. It's cooked in a cast iron skillet, so I call it a skillet cookie. It uses, for me, what is pantry ingredients: flour, 2 kinds of sugar, eggs, butter, and of course a whole lot of chocolate chips, and you cook it in a greased cast iron skillet. It's amazing. Don't overwork the dough. When you're mixing it up, you can just do what I did and just pat it down. Bake it till it's golden brown. You bake it longer to cut it, less if you want it gooey. You just scoop it out and have it with ice cream. And that is our dessert, and that wraps up our week of What's for Dinner. Thanks so much for stopping by our channel. Hope everyone is well and staying safe. Have a wonderful and truly blessed day, y'all.